Fuck you.
I'm joking. Listen, I
I
love
just started
everything.
recording.
If I didn't like it, I wouldn't watch it.
No,
Introduce
that's not
us.
true. I will
Introduce
watch
the
any
show.
film that is recommended on this show. Let's just chat for a bit. Before we start.
All right. One of the reasons I don't like Time is he's creepy and he scares me because
Yeah.
he's so deadpan that I don't know where I am emotionally with him most of the time. So that makes me feel very unsafe.
When he talks, you're lost in the woods.
Well, it's just very brief. It's more of a bark. It's just like, yes, no, you know, and then there's like the reason is very brief and there's no movement, you know, there's no way to out of it. So it's like it's like wrestling and being pinned and overpowered.
Yeah, see?
We're gonna give Time the floor. How you been, buddy?
I'm good.
You know what?
Are you kidding?
Everyone is saying,
are you kidding?
This is what
you set me up for that. I had to take it.
This is what the podcast world needs: is a semi-mute movie critic.
Yeah.
Who just goes, mm-hmm. Yeah, because then if everyone disagrees with us, then he's the guy that people project onto. Right?
Yeah, I'm just happy that we marked out more time and space in the podcast to let you cook, because as I can see, all the ingredients are being set out, and you turn the burners on, and I'm getting really excited because I can smell the protein and the herbs that you're cooking up. So I'm just excited.
Well, yeah, I'm hyped. You watched this? You've been good.
Yeah, it's baseball season, so I'm very excited.
Oh yeah,
tell me about that. How the Dodgers doing?
You're going to be seeing a lot less of me around.
Number one Dodgers fan,
just like my creepy dad. This is exactly what my dad did my entire life. From after dinner, from 6:30 to 10 every fucking day. Absolutely, I know when the game's on. I know it starts at 7:15. First pitch is 7:17.
He didn't include you in the festivities?
No, listen, I was included in everything, buddy. Listen, everything.
I'm watching baseball. Can I watch it yet? Get away from me.
Take your eyes open for sure.
He told him to log off.
He's not silent. My dad is not silently watching the game. My dad is conducting a seminar every night while watching the game, and then we're there. And there's a debate club is breaking out, and he's like, "That's a good point, but you're approaching it incorrectly because you're causing your opponent to become defensive. And what you want to do is give them a little room so they can change, stuff like that."
He gave you a pop quiz after every single match.
He was a master chef. Listen, my dad was a master.
He cooked. Yeah,
he cooked.
Yeah,
we always ate dinner together. We always ate dinner, family dinner, all five of us.
Is that cup really that large, or is it like 4 cups stacked on top of each other?
This is
like 2 cups. Maybe.
Yeah,
it's like huge.
Oh,
I was so confused. I was like, "That's a huge cup, dude."
No, because it gets water. It starts sweating, right? The moisture collects, and it starts getting. And I want to sip on it. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep adding ice to it and put it in a triple cup.
Prag, you and I are of a higher tier age group. When you were growing up,
then who?
Older than you.
I'm 19 years old.
Yeah, so specifically at me.
When you say that,
I'm the outsider.
18. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm 25. It's not that far.
Well, JC, maybe you can answer this question, even though the beginning of the question was when you were growing up, which is yesterday for you, JC. When you were growing up,
7 years.
When you were growing up as a kid, did you eat dinner like at a table, and were you allowed to have the TV on?
Who are you asking, me or Prag?
It doesn't matter. Either one of you guys.
Well, for me,
I'd like to hear you, and then I'll go. Go ahead.
We'd eat at the table, but the TV would be on in the background. My younger brother wasn't allowed to look at the TV because he'd get distracted always. So his seat was away from the TV, while ours was towards it.
Why did they just turn the fucking TV off? The poor kid. It's like you're not training that snot.
Put him up against the wall so he can't see it.
You're not training a schnauzer not to beg at the table. Poor kids.
But he wouldn't be engaged. That's the issue. He wouldn't be engaged with the conversation,
We would have the TV.
We had deep conversations, I tell you what.
Special events.
About
Special
what
events the
happened that
TV
day.
went on.
That's important.
Did you though? Did you have a full family round robin
Yeah,
at the table?
Yeah, we weren't like the Matilda parents who just sat at the couch and ate food on their little
the
tables
TV
that
trays.
they put in
Yeah,
the TV trays. Yeah.
TV would be on for like if there was a special event, and you have to understand this is a time when there's no DVRs, there's no recordings. Whenever something was on, that was on.
Yeah,
that was
3
it.
channels. Yeah.
I think we had 12. We had 12 channels. We had 12 channels. So when something special was on, we would get the TV on. But my mom would always be against it, and it was 2 brothers, me, and my dad, and it was and Fritz the dog, and Gert the dog. We had dogs.
Not the cat.
Anyway,
wait, hold on. Fritz and Gert.
No cat. Fritz and Gert.
Oh, those are good names. Those are really good names.
Not Fritz the cat, Fritz the dog.
Fritz
Just
the
making
dog.
sure.
Yeah.
Fritz the dog. Fritz the dog was crazy. But anyway, we would always try to make every night a special event. We always want the TV on. My brothers, my dad. Oh, we got to put this is a special event. And then my mom was constantly snide. And so, no, but we used to have very lively, long conversations at the table.
About politics?
Just everything. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mostly about politics.
So what would be a special event?
Maybe my mom wants to watch the red carpet of the Academy Awards or something. That comes on at like 5.
Yeah.
So that's you know what I'm saying, or the Super Bowl, or
that happens once a year, the Academy Awards.
Yeah, it's a special event.
Yeah, but
that was the time that
wouldn't be every day.
Well, it used to be when I was growing up. It was a time frame when if you weren't home at 6 for dinner, you weren't having dinner because people just didn't eat out like we do nowadays.
Yeah.
People didn't. I mean, there was drive-thrus and stuff, but you didn't really make that connection dinner-wise. It was always and then you get home, and then we cooked together. My dad was a good cook too, and my mom and dad made great food. And listen, there was no better meal in town, so we were going to be there, and it was going to be a hot date, and it was going to be fun.
Absolutely. What about you, Todd? You asked the question. What are you?
I don't remember having the TV was always there, but it wasn't on for us when we were growing up as far as eating. So we always had the TV off.
Was that a rule set, or was it just natural? You guys just
I think it was just natural.
Okay.
There would be a kind of like I don't say like a crossing point, but kind of like a bleed over to where my dad's done eating, so he would go and sit down and watch TV, and then the TV would be on while someone was finishing up eating.
Yeah.
But it wasn't we as we all started, we'd be just sitting there talking and eating and whatever, and then eventually the TV would happen to be on, if someone gets done or whatever. But for the most part, it was off.
Did they smoke? Were they smokers?
My dad smoked. I hated that.
Yeah, me and my mom were fucking cooking cigarettes
inside the house. What the fuck?
Everyone in the whole country, JC. It was crazy. And every kid said, "I hate cigarettes. I'm never going to smoke." And then every kid, as soon as they hit 22, they start getting a little buzz going. Oh, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it differently. It sucks.
That really was. You guys are so much older than me because that
this
would
whole
be
country was addicted to nicotine. It was 75%.
They still
when
are.
I was growing up, if they found out that you were smoking around your kids inside the house, you're done. That's terrible. No way.
And that changed. No, it did change when I was growing up when they finally made it illegal to smoke in restaurants and stuff. And
that's right. Yeah.
Said, "Oh, gee, my uncle died of cancer, and I can't walk up a flight of stairs. Maybe this isn't good." The number one thing that saved this country was cessation tools, the patch, the gum, because you can't. It's very difficult to quit something like nicotine cold turkey.
Yeah.
It's as addictive physiologically as heroin.
Yeah.
So without a step-down method, people would fail and repeat and fail and repeat, and the patch worked great.
But it is good that it's legal. But we won't get into the politics.
You just get into black market. No, because you would have black market tobacco. I mean, legalize substances and deal with them
I remember
authentically.
Growing up, and when we would go to the restaurant, and you would go to get seated, and they go, "Would you like to sit in the smoking or non-smoking section?"
Right.
They don't have that now. Yeah,
everything stunk. Everything stunk.
Living with a smoker was just, in retrospect, it's it was awful.
Welcome to the movie podcast, JC.
Wait, hold on. Well, speaking of smoking, we could smoke in high school. We could smoke in high school, JC. JC, you were allowed to smoke in high school. In my high school, there was a smoking section for the kids.
That'd never
crazy.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that's tobacco money.
We didn't have that.
That's tobacco money.
No, we didn't have that either.
That's big agriculture. That's big subsidies. All right, let's start the movie podcast.
All right, let's get introductions out of the way. I'm JC. I'm here with my friends. I'm here with my friends.
I'm Time, and I was
there. We go.
Father.
You were not we? No. We won't speak about it. We won't speak about
this
that.
This is a movie podcast.
It's a movie podcast.
I'm looking at the outline. Stop screaming at me.
What's
right. JC, host the show. You're going to introduce
us. That's what I'm saying.
He is.
I'm saying, let's get our introductions out of the way. Who's next? Time's given his. Who's next? Who else are we with?
My name is Pragpro.
Why did you walk to the camera?
Because that's what I do.
My name is Pragpro.
You guys sitting down is the worst mistake you ever made because you don't have the ability to move around the stage, man.
Yeah, but you've got your mic like in your ear. Mine is on my desk. I can't move away from it.
Listen, this is the best investment I ever made. These AirPod Pros, they sound.
He's right.
So
they are really
amazing. Good. They sound as good as cans, Sennheiser cans. I mean, they're really worth it. So if anyone's on the fence.
Wouldn't go that far.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? As far as, but with the mobility.
Yeah, time's the audio.
It's never going to be better.
I'm an audio snob. I have so many different fucking headphones.
My guy, listen, I'm a Sennheiser 598 guy. I'm a 598 guy.
Ooh, 598s were so good. So good.
You don't know about these. With the Euro 10. All right, I actually had to glue. I had to glue this back on. But these are the best pound for pound for the price.
For the price, 100%. Yeah.
And they're so light, and the airflow. That's the key to Sennheiser. The fact that the airflow goes through, it allows to create more of a surround sound sensation, and your ears breathe so they don't get all waxy.
Time the audio file, yet for the podcast where sound is incredibly important, he just wears the
not really.
Apple AirPods Pro.
It's a podcast.
You know what? People are asking me, what microphone did you use? Because they thought the audio was really good on the last one, and we're just using these AirPods. My brother.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he said he was, but considering the fact that I'm not cabled and I can walk around, the audio is pretty good, you know.
But the program also like reduces background noise, reduces echo cancellation as well.
It's a great program.
Yeah, I'm in love with it.
I've been talking about it. Well, we have to get our Annie up so we can get the pro version. Just let me know.
That's what I think. Yeah. For the next one, we might stream it.
So this week, what do we watch?
Yes,
we
should stream it.
That's what I'm thinking. We're going to stream it next time.
Go ahead.
So, Pragpro, you picked the film. Why don't you introduce it?
I didn't watch the film.
What?
Good, because I didn't either.
I mean, I started to watch it.
Am I the only one that did the homework?
Started to watch it, and then I was like, Dragon's Dogma is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So this film is called This Boy's Life. It is Leonardo DiCaprio's first film. It's his feature film debut.
Oh, his first film.
I believe it.
No. His first film was Critters 3. Let me get that out of the way.
Wait a minute. Why is the Wikipedia lying to me, JC? What is going on?
Is that what it says?
Yes, that's what I'm quoting here. Or maybe they were talking about Tobey Maguire.
It is Tobey Maguire's first film. That's right.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that's right.
Listen.
Is he your Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, he's my Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, okay.
Yeah, I like Tobey Maguire.
So we're all in agreement that Tobey is our Spider-Man.
Jake Gyllenhaal's right. I think all the actors who played
Spider-Man. When was Jake Gyllenhaal Spider-Man?
The next one.
The next one. He's gonna go from Mysterio to Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was great as Mysterio.
He was fantastic as Mysterio.
Yeah,
but this is the wrong film.
I want to know why Wikipedia keeps lying to me.
Let's talk about Spider-Man 2.
This Boy's Life.
All right. So I want to talk about This Boy's Life, but I don't want to spoil the film. So let's talk about what a spoiler is. What are the parameters? How do we avoid spoilers? And also talk about film. I want to talk about how we talk about it.
Directly to a man named Corey. Go ahead and explain what spoilers are.
So spoilers are anything that is like plot related. That
listen, time out. This Boy's Life marks the cinematic debut of actor Leonardo DiCaprio, who portrayed Toby at 17 years old during the filming. This is from Wikipedia and their Why Christian Bale Declared Leonardo DiCaprio His Nemesis. This is from a May 21, 22 reference.
He was 17 years old?
Excuse me, I'm opening the Critters 3 Wikipedia.
It marked
Leonardo DiCaprio's film debut. What
the fuck are we really doing here?
What is the answer? When did This Boy's Life come out? 91?
93, I think.
This content was released the 1st of January 2023.
Siri just answered my question. Answered the wrong question.
She has the Australian Siri. It's so funny. The Australian accent is crazy. All right, I'm looking up Leo's.
I have the Australian Siri.
I have the Irish Siri.
When did This Boy's Life come out? What year?
I'm looking it up. I'm looking at his film list. Right, full list of works. All right.
Yeah, This Boy's Life was 93. Critters 3 was 91. So I'm right. Yeah, you nailed it, bro.
I know.
You nailed it.
Critters 3, 1991. Poison Ivy, 1992. This was he an extra?
No, he was the main. He was the main kid.
Time out. You know why you're wrong, JC? Critters 3 was direct to video.
A theatrical debut.
Do you want to apologize? You want to apologize
retraction.
To your king? Who's the king? Go ahead.
Don't say it. Don't admit.
I'm
don't
not saying
kneel.
anything.
Don't kneel.
I'm not saying anything. Critters 3 is his debut.
Say you're sorry.
Hey, say you're sorry, Luis.
Pragpro.
So, Prag, why did...
No, mate, actually, Leo was in Critters 3, you cunt.
I'm trying
Who's the cunt now, cunt?
I'm trying to move this podcast forward here. Why did you pick this film? Why did you pick This Boy's Life?
I love this film because at the time when Robert De Niro was acting, all the movies that Robert De Niro had been in really that had been big hits were all kind of East Coast, him playing people he knew from their neighborhood from the 70s, from Mean Streets to Taxi Driver. And this showed us a dark comedic side of Robert De Niro that really hadn't been in play.
I don't know if I call this comedic, but he's from New York, right?
Dark comedy. Dark comedy.
Very dark. I don't know if
because you're laughing at the villain.
Well, he's inept.
Right. That's the darkness. The darkness is that evil is often incompetent.
Yes.
And that allows the people who are suffering evil to find hope because they can see the incompetence and find, a laugh at their blunders, etc. So I think it was a complicated character.
I agree. And
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. So
I thought it was really... I was shocked at how much he dropped his accent and how much he... Was it a Southern drawl? I'm not great with American
No, it was
accents.
a Washington... He was doing a Washington State, like a Midwest...
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to help you be a better boy. It help you be a better boy.
Like kind of like a Minnesotan accent.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like a Midwest.
Yeah.
It's like a Midwest vibe because, he's a World War II veteran in this. This is a true story. This film, based on the biography of a very famous fiction writer, Tobias Wolff. Right?
Wolff, yeah.
Yes. Who won the National Book Award and many other awards for his biographies. And, so this real person, this real villain, was a Navy veteran of World War II. So you don't know what kind of shit he saw in the Pacific or whatever else that he got back to. But it shows you how leadership can be compromised by shame and anxiety and low self-esteem of the person trying to be the leader, too.
Yeah. Is this a well-known book? Do you know?
It is now because this movie's been around for a long time.
The movie's more popular than the book, then.
Yeah. But I hadn't heard about this film until you
I hadn't either,
recommended it. This is the first time I'd heard of it, which I thought was surprising because the film plays like a classic. Like, it plays like a Stand By Me. It plays like one of those sorts of classics. But it seems like it didn't really get the as big of cult status that something like that would.
It had a moment for the time that it was in. The time that it was in was VHS was coming to rental stores for the first time. So it was a top 10 movie at the box office. You know, it's a Robert De Niro, Ellen Burstyn film. Those were very famous actors at the time.
Yeah.
And it did well, and it got mixed reviews about some portions of it, but generally favorable reviews. You know, right? It made like $9 million.
Yeah.
But it caught fire on video. It was one of those VHS things that people saw because every week on a Friday, your dad or mom or you would go to the video stores and get 3 movies and whatever came out new. And you look at the actors first, and that was always one of the 3 movies that everyone got that week in 1991 or whatever it came out. You know, I think everyone saw it.
I just want to correct you for a second. It was Ellen Barkin, not Ellen Burstyn. But it just,
what did I say, Burstyn?
You said Ellen
Barkin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
Ellen.
No,
wait. No, it was not. Ellen Barkin was going to be in it.
No, that's her. That's the mum, is Ellen Barkin. I'm looking at the cast list right now.
I believe you.
Yeah. And the daughter, the younger daughter, is Eliza Dushku, if anyone recognizes her from Dollhouse.
I did. Right away, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? She was unrecognizable with the glasses and stuff, but...
Child actors, right? Tobey Maguire.
Toby.
Can we give the audience a brief summary of the movie? Does anyone have that?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
That was going to be my next thing.
I don't have that information in front of me, but JC does.
You watched the film.
I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil
what happened in the film. What did you think the film was about?
I'm terrified of spoiling the film.
Yeah, I can't. I'm getting shot.
Okay, all right. I'll do it then. So it's about a boy. It's his life. He lives with his mom. They're poor family. She's basically running away from her abusive boyfriend. And they end up in, what's the town called? Concrete,
Washington.
Yeah. Well, they don't start off in Concrete, but she meets this guy, played by Robert De Niro. What was his name again?
Dwight.
Dwight. And we kind of see him and the son, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of develop this really not great relationship, and we see how that plays out and it's like a psychological warfare between the two of them. You know, he's trying to find his independence, and Dwight isn't letting him, and that's the story.
Coming of age story. And it's a true story. I mean, there are some embellishments that they made around the characters, but they always going to do that with a film, and the author is good with it. But there was a lot of interesting characters in the film too that that showed how the author came to grow, and because basically the mom is floating around the country with the kid, and they're just trying to settle down. They're moving from Salt Lake to this, and just trying to find any way, and they end up where the mom is living with 2 other ladies and the son in like a tenement situation, and then. Just this smooth operator floats in. Yeah. And the kid can see right away that he's full of shit. Mm-hmm. But the mom is looking for that security. She's tired of running, she says at one point.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. But we, the audience, don't really know if it's just initially we don't really know if
the way they play it, they slow play it. It's not like bad guy right out the jump.
Yeah. But there is a moment. There is a moment.
Do you think that what's the kid's name again? Toby?
Jack.
Jack.
Jack. Yeah, Jack.
Jack.
Right.
Do you think that Jack actually saw his bullshit, or do you think it was more of a this guy's dating my mom and I don't like it?
No, that's how the film is trying to present it to you.
Yeah, because he does call him out on his bullshit because he's mocking him. He's doing him as a character in front of the ladies, and the ladies are laughing, and that's an indicative of someone who sees through. It's hard to play a character for someone if you don't see them or think that you see them.
Yeah. Before we get into spoilers, I just wanted to ask everyone, what did we think? Time. What did you think of the film?
You guys keep picking awful movies, and it is pissing me off.
Bullshit.
No. Did you actually movie,
not like it?
No. It was good. It was good. I'd never seen it before, obviously. I didn't know what to expect. I read the summary and I was like, okay, whatever. But it was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the same page. I'm like, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was as good as like the classics like Stand By Me, but it played like one.
It definitely, I mean, when you brought that up, it definitely had that feel to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, every movie has strengths and weaknesses. And I think the strength of this film was the performances, very clearly, was definitely amazing acting. Everybody. The kid who played... I love the actor who played, and maybe you'll remind me...
the gay kid?
Buddy with the gay kid with the little dog. Who's that actor? He was exceptional in that movie.
Let me find it while you guys keep talking about it.
Did you feel like the movie was too long?
I thought the problem with the movie was there's some melodramatic scenes, and that might be due to the director. Some of the choices they made with the soundtrack, and it was a little, but that was kind of.
I thought
coming out of the '80s.
Really, I didn't.
I did.
The OST. I mean, are we talking about the film music or the OST? You know, the film music.
Oh, the OST
film music.
Right.
Film music. The 1980s was a very melodramatic period of film, especially dramas. And you see that in like An Officer and a Gentleman, and you got these big strings swelling. It's very romantic and stuff. But I just don't. I think if they were making that film today, the aesthetic would have been a little bit colder, reflecting what it was like living in the woods. In where they filmed it was Vancouver, but it's supposed to be Washington State.
Yeah,
and I thought the scene, another actor or another character that was major to the film was the set. Was the location. It gave you that sense of isolation, and you could see how the family can get isolated and feel that they are extracted from getting out of the situation, and how the characters work through that, and the feeling of being trapped, and you have to deal with the situation in front of you because now you can't get out.
I know it's a real place, but the name Concrete also is very. It's just very like jailhouse sort of vibe.
Yeah, it's like rundown logging town, like a former successfully logging town. The school's 40 miles downriver. They have to take a 40-mile school bus every day. You know, imagine you're a kid, and then your mom starts dating some guy, and then you're all of a sudden in rural Washington State.
But I remember early on in the film, like we're talking about the music, I remember early on in the film, something really serious happens and really dour. But then the music is like from E.T. It's like, it's, whimsical. And I was like, why are they playing this right now? This should be really sad, but they're not. I mean, it's meant to be sad, but the music doesn't. Like, the music more feels like a family.
This might have been the only good film this director is considered to make. One of the major films this guy made after this was something called Basic Instinct 2, which is a horrible film. And after that, his fucking career pretty much was dashed on the rocks. So I wonder how much the actors and the casting director carried this production. Yeah. And the set. And the film, cinematography was good.
Yeah. I mean, the 90s, he was big in the 90s, but more recently, he's had a couple of films. Like in 2005, he had a film called Shooting Dogs, which is meant to be pretty good. Okay. And another film in 2019 called Our Ladies that has good reviews on Letterboxd. So I'm interested in checking those out. But we're
going to have to check it out. He's a Scottish director.
Yeah.
That's about all I know about him.
In terms of the 90s, though, This Boy's Life is basically his big film. Like... besides that, the rest are kind of middling, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, when we get into spoilers, I can't wait to talk about, the choices De Niro made and the choices that Ellen Barkin made.
So basically I'm in the same place this time. I thought it was pretty good, but it doesn't reach that kind of classic status that it's clearly going for, it feels like. Yeah.
I mean, if I had to rate it, I'd give it a B. Strong
same.
B. A strong 80. Nice
a
80.
Yeah. Nice 70 for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
70, 65, 70.
And that's
not
because
for me. Not for me, buddy. That's a B in Australia, bro.
DiCaprio and... Listen, the acting performances are great. Think about Leonardo DiCaprio. He's been in 2 other films, direct-to-video, an extra in one, and the direct-to-video. Okay. And he comes out and he has to carry this whole film with Robert De Niro. He has to act with Robert De Niro in almost every scene, and he holds his own.
Yeah, it's really impressive for a child actor at the time.
And I think this got him. Did Gilbert Grape come right after this? Probably, or maybe he filmed at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of notes that I want to read out before, because I took notes while watching this.
I had a couple.
Yeah, I love a 50s period piece. I thought it was really authentic to that time period.
Yes.
Like all the cars, all the sets were really,
Yeah, that was really cool.
pretty.
I never got taken out of the time frame. It was always the automobiles, the everything, mannerisms was really specific. I like that.
Yeah, and I really like the way they portrayed like the youth in the film, and it's kind of funny like how similar it is to the youth today as well. Like a lot hasn't changed in terms of how much profanity you see on like gaming platforms and stuff, and the amount of profanity that they use. It's just kind of like a ritual for youth. It's just something that they do.
There was that one scene. I don't know if we can talk into it where they're watching Superman.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you got to get a bunch of curse words and shit out, before, and then you sit down, you shut up, and you watch the movie.
Right. You enjoy it.
Yeah, he's right. That's what you would do.
It's like you have to, when you sit down with your boys, you have to have this ritual where you make sex jokes and you talk shit about, this character, I'm gonna, what I do to her, bro, and then that's all. That's basically like any group of animals, young animals, vying for position, and then finally you can relax and actually enjoy what you came to see.
Do you know the philosopher Slavoj Zizek? Are you familiar with that guy?
Yeah, I know who he is.
He's a Slovenian philosopher, and he basically like
Serbian.
He's saying
Serbian. Yeah,
I thought it was he's Slovenian. I'm telling you.
Pull up Wikipedia right now. I have no problem. Fact check me.
This is this episode where JC just gets shit on for all his facts.
Yeah, I'm right. He's Slovenian. He's Slovenian.
No!
Zizek.
Slavoj Zizek. Yeah, he's Slovenian.
Yeah, he's Slovenian.
Anyway,
right.
he's talking about like how this
is like.
This is kind of what, because he always talks about the ego, the super ego. He doesn't, he obviously understands that Freud has been discredited, but but he uses it as an explanation as to what we do behaviorally when we're with our friends, and it's almost like we're paying sacrifice to the id when we're getting into discussions. When we're getting into
theory,
like he's talking about how he'd have meetings with his obviously philosophers. They're intellectuals, but before they begin, they get out all of their cursing. They get out all of their insults. They throw insults at each other. They pay sacrifice to the id, and then they have their conversation.
What I think is happening is when peers are together, especially young peers, you have to show everyone in your group that you really consider your team or your pack, that you're able to fight if there's a problem. So you're doing light sparring with your friends to show that if a threat comes to the community or the group or the pack, that everyone's capable of handling their business. Essentially.
It's good. I think it's healthy. I know a lot of parents don't see it that way. I think the problem with gaming is it's just constant. Like they never get past that point. But otherwise, I think it's healthy.
Evolving. You have to keep evolving. And sometimes people get stuck. They're still making the same dumb jokes when they're 14. You should be able to elevate the jokes that you say in that period so that because the audience is going to keep growing,
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to make someone laugh at the same joke for 15, So.
Do we want to get into the spoiler talk now? Let's get into spoilers. Let's just
Listen,
wreak
I love a Robert De Niro character, and when he comes in,
listeners, spoilers from here on out.
How far are we? How many hours? It's 33 minutes.
33 minutes, yeah.
33 minutes. All right.
This is a good point. Okay. Yeah,
when Robert De Niro comes out in the Boy Scout uniform, he's got the brand new Boy Scout uniform, and he dresses Leonardo DiCaprio in the used one. Yeah. It shows you everything from his.
It's too big.
It shows you how selfish this adult man who's supposed to be the dad. He's just like a child in this whole movie. Every argument. What about the wife? Who's gonna help the wife? Everything is a victim. He's a victim, and what victims like to do is they like to abuse people who are weaker than him, and this is what this character does. He's a very bad guy.
One of my notes.
No.
No, what I was going to say is one of my notes is De Niro's a goober. It's great.
It's great.
Yeah, and when he comes to meet her for the first date, he's got the suit, he's got the shark skin suit and the cigarette. He's lighting her cigarette and everything.
He's doing like tricks with the lighter.
He's like Joe Smooth, and then everyone can kind of see through it.
The thing I loved about this specific scene with the Boy Scouts is he's got his little super short Boy Scout uniform on, and Leo comes out and it's all his is like 10 sizes too big. It's draped over him, and then he goes, "You said you were going to get me a new one," and he hit him with the fucking, "Well, it's new to you."
It's new to you. And then they go to the Boy Scout troop, and they take a photo, and Leo's like this, and he's like, that photo should be the poster for this episode.
Yeah.
Of that picture from This Boy's Life, the Boy Scout photo where De Niro's got that big goofy smile and Leo's just got that
I'll
sadness.
make it the thumbnail for sure.
It's really funny.
I'll make it the thumbnail.
And then the mom during the whole time is like, "I'm tired of running and just trying to work it out. I'm not going to get in the middle of it," and stuff like that. I mean, you're dealing with
but that always happens. But that always happens when you're in these kind of hyper masculine scenarios. Like women will always in those scenarios they feel pressured to just succumb.
You feel trapped. You feel like she doesn't have any moves.
Exactly.
He felt probably that she didn't have any moves. And one of the things that they didn't really talk about physical or verbal abuse with the mom and the dad, but what they did talk about was what's going on in the bedroom, where Robert De Niro refuses to make love to.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
Isn't that bizarre?
You can do it 2 ways.
It's from the side out or on the side. There's 2 ways.
No, you have 2 choices. This is my house. Yeah,
that's the deal.
Sorry
about it.
Fuck.
And then he just dumps her over and fucking goes to work. And it's just like, all right, Dwight. My man has a lot of issues.
I do like that she starts, becoming self-determined, and she wants to run for John F. Kennedy's campaign. He's like, "Fucking no!" She does it anyway.
She takes a stand. She's like, I'm going to go work for JFK right now, and if you don't like it, you can kiss it. And he doesn't. And he puts up with it.
Yeah,
and he puts up with it because he's a bully. At the end of the day, he's a paper tiger, right?
Yeah, and he's got no direction in life at all.
He's a mechanic, right? He's he's a World War II vet. He's a mechanic. He's got a dilapidated house. He's got 2 kids from a previous marriage that they don't really talk about, or is it 3 kids, right? You have Elisha Dishku.
And
who's the youngest? Yeah,
2 older, or 1 younger and 1 older boy, a boy and a girl, 2 girls and a boy.
And they leave halfway through,
and they're always like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out of the door. And it seems like Dwight really puts his focus on Jack, played by Leo, as far as, this is going to be my last stand as a man. I'm going to turn you into a better boy. I'm going to drill sergeant you into, whatever, Because, Jack is not going to school. He is smoking, he's being a truant. He's, getting into trouble. And they just don't know how to deal with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when I watch movies... listeners, when I watch movies, I'm a very surface level person. I don't see the themes, or like the things that are really below the surface or what they're really trying to tell you. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. It's just not how I watch movies.
No, fair enough.
But one thing that I kind of got was that it seemed like with Dwight and the way he was treating Jack. That, to me at least, it seemed like Jack was seen, and I think he realized it towards the end, that if he stayed in concrete and kept going this thing, that he would become Dwight.
Yeah. It was like a slow manifestation, like his behaviors started being picked up.
And even when he was calling out his friends at the end. Yeah.
Yes. It was really good. And it's often how
I thought that was good
manifests.
Yeah.
Those kind of themes and stuff, they kind of remind me of films like The Iron Claw that came out recently.
Still gotta watch it.
It's so good, dude.
I didn't see it.
I mean, there's heaps of films that deal with these things that I think do a better job than this film, like Snowtown.
It's an autobiography. At the end of the day,
I do know.
So they only have so many things that they can dive. I mean, you can make a biography a better story always, but I think he wanted to stick with what the facts of what happened.
That's fair enough.
If they didn't have his best, what became his best friend, the gay kid.
Yeah,
I think that gave it a lot of dimension. I'm still waiting to find out who that actor was. JC.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and, I'll get to that.
But I mean, it was interesting. There's one scene where Jack's trying to get out of concrete, and the other kid isn't really helping him, and he's a little jealous, and he's like, well, "Why do you get to leave?"
Yeah, I thought that was
essentially what
weird.
he's trying to say.
I thought
But
that
that's
was
something
a weird
that's
scene.
when people are trying to get better or get out of a situation, there's always that concept where there's claws and or a bunch of crabs in the barrel, and you pull the crab out, and the other crabs you want to pull them down to keep them at that level. Well, because if everyone doesn't get out, then nobody gets out, kind of theory.
The thing I found weird about that scene in general was when he started to befriend that kid, and they were like, walking down and they were sharing ice cream, or they were eating ice cream or whatever, and they were joking about, like staying in there, and, oh, you're going to stay here and live here or whatever. Jack tells that kid, you're probably going to stay here and you're going to, dress in your mom's clothes. And they laughed about it, and the guy's like, yeah, probably. But then at the end, when he helps them with the paper, the transcripts, whatever, he throws it back in his face, and I'm like, well, you were cool with that earlier. Like, why?
Yeah, but I guess
people
do that though.
He's bitter.
People will laugh. People, when you say something to somebody, they'll laugh on the surface, but then they'll digest it, and then that food, whatever that thing is made, you laugh at first, but then 2 hours later, you're like, what does he mean by that? And then you're thinking about it, and it's like cooking you inside slowly, and eventually that bubbles up. But I like the way the film handled when his friend steals a kiss with him at the piano, instead of Jack like going crazy, because we don't really know if
he laughed it off.
Yeah, he laughed it off, and they continue to be pals, and that's actually probably
such good
the best thing you could. It's good because he valued the relationship more than getting into a fight with his buddy over that.
Which is something that Dwight would never do in a million years.
God. Dwight wouldn't be friends. They the bullies at the bus stop. That he comes up to in the first scene, and he starts cooking them with his little dog. He comes up and he instantly wins the audience over by showing how powerful he is. Because he's not afraid. He's going to talk his talk, and then if they do say something crazy, he's going to fight, and he's probably not going to win, but everyone's going to get a bloody nose, and everyone's going to be covered in blood, and he gives a fuck. And everyone, by the way, he won that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a fair fight. He had the dog with him too. That wasn't fair.
Yeah.
The dog steals the show. The dog
chewing on him.
My favorite actor. Chewing. Yeah, the dog was perfect.
He's chewing on his nut. By the way, that actor's name is Jonah Blackman.
Okay, Jonah Blackman was great in that movie.
He did a fantastic job. I really like the mom. Like, I thought that was a really great character. I just like her whole journey.
She's been in so many great
someone else, but I can't place it.
Was it Ellen Bernstein?
A stereotypical mom in that time.
I'm just joking. Is that who reminded you of? Let me look up Ellen Barkin's career, because she's got a hell of a career.
She's got a bit of a Katherine Heigl sort of face, I think. Like that sort of actress.
Yeah, and she's playing somebody who's essentially the most hip version of a young mom in the 50s that you could possibly be. There's nobody going to be cooler than Ellen Barkin in the 50s. She's married to Gabriel Byrne. I know that. Ocean's 13, Brooklyn's Finest, The Cobbler, Suburbia, Palindromes, Crime and Punishment, Loathing in Las Vegas, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, The Fan, Bad Company, This Boy's Life.
Ooh. The Fan?
Yeah, The Fan with... That's not De Niro again.
De Niro, yeah.
De Niro again, yeah. They reunited. That's so good. The scene I was talking about earlier with the music is when she's being...
Animal Kingdom, the USA show. Animal Kingdom is pretty good.
When she's being assaulted by her ex-boyfriend, who's followed her to...
Oh, yeah, that
guy. Followed her to Washington, yeah.
Yeah, he just pops... Salt Lake City, wasn't it? She was trying to escape from him, and then all of a sudden he shows up in Salt Lake City. Oh, and she's pretending to be cool, and they know that she... And then he comes... he comes home from school, Leo comes home from school, and they have to take off.
Yeah,
and that guy's a pretty famous character actor, isn't he?
Yeah, who was that actor?
I'm not sure.
It's like James something, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Chris Cooper?
Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper, yeah.
The thing about this movie is every little performance is really good. From the extras to the... So that wins... So if those were not great or very average performances, this film could very easily be a 60 or a 55.
Be a mid-film, yeah.
But they keep accruing points from great performances, a great set, a great location, great cinematography that really captures the scenes. I thought the fight scene was great at the very end of the film.
Oh my god,
it really
was that good?
captured the energy, and you don't know exactly what's going to happen because at the end of the day, it's a little boy in a fucking old.
The him biting his finger, that was brutal.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yes, I felt you could feel it.
Tell him
You could feel. I could feel the teeth cutting into my bone there.
Yeah.
That's what De Niro can do, though. De Niro's amazing.
And the boxing scene as well, when he's teaching him to fight.
Oh
my
yeah.
god!
Right, the tension.
Yeah, the amount of tension between them two was insane.
And then he pulls a fast one on him.
Mm-hmm.
What Leo does is he makes him put his guard down, starts stalking, gets him distracted, and then cooks him. Yeah. And that was great. No, it's amazing scenes. I mean,
I felt like this film was a little bit surface level. Is all.
Yeah.
Is all.
But I think people should watch it. I agree because if you have Disney Plus, if you have Disney Plus or pay the small $4.99 or whatever on Amazon, watch it. If you like Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio and you want to see amazing actors, when Leo's just starting and when De Niro's at almost probably his peak, definitely at his peak.
Agreed.
See that movie. It's not long. It's fun.
It's like 2 hours long. It is long.
Yeah, but it flows. But the flow is that the 2 hours goes by quick. I'm not like looking at my watch at 90 minutes saying, okay, 30 more minutes, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because the way that the plot moves is very brisk and it hits to the peak real quick and then the peak is at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And it resolves everything right at the end. And it's building, and it peaks and it's a good peak. And it resolves itself well. And if you're more interested about that kid's story, he's written other biographies. Like he was a paratrooper in Vietnam, and he won the National Book Award. Obama awarded him the National Book Award for that book about being a parachute.
Okay, show off. Whatever.
The movie is not on Disney Plus.
I didn't do it. He did.
It was on.
Okay, right. It's not on Disney Plus. I had to. If you have a VPN. You can change your location.
Sponsored by ExpressVPN.
No, Surfshark. That's what I use. Yeah,
I think I paid $4 for this movie. I paid $4. I paid $4. It's worth $4.
I just watched it on Disney Plus. Yes.
Is it on Max? Because it's a Warner Brothers film. No. Usually it'll come around. Every month they refresh the movies and stuff. And if Warner Brothers has it in, listen, watch the movie. It's a good movie.
This has nothing to do with the movie at all. But I'm watching the movie, whatever, and I see Eliza Dushku, and I was like, hey, I recognize her. And then I just start thinking about like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, her, these child actors, and I just watched Quiet on the Set. So
Quiet on the Set? No, I don't. What is
that? The Nickelodeon.
Oh
yeah. I just watched that, so I was like, holy shit, this is like. I'm trying not to think about this stuff right now.
Has that got Eliza Dushku in it? Like, is that?
No. I'm saying as far as like child actors and like the stuff they had to go through. That's what I'm
saying. Who's the child actor who played the older teenage daughter?
Let me have a look.
Oh, Carla. Is it Gugino or something?
Oh no, it's Carla Gugino. I didn't even recognize her.
Right, actually, she's from The Mandalorian, right? The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Is she? No.
No, that's another one.
She's in.
She's in
what the fuck is that movie? Showgirls.
Sin City.
Showgirls.
No.
She might be in Showgirls.
She must be in Showgirls. Yeah. She's in Gerald's Game. That was pretty good. But she's
the girl. I recognized her, like the older daughter, whatever, the sibling. I recognized her, but I couldn't place who she was. And then at the end, when the credits are going, I saw her name and I go, "That's who it was."
I didn't even put two and two together.
No,
I didn't even realize.
Well, when I saw her name, I was like, "Okay, I know who it is."
Yeah, but Eliza Dushku, I mean,
she was very recognizable.
I mean, back in the day, watching Dollhouse, that was a time to be alive.
What was the one she did before that? The better one. Dark Angel? No, what was it called?
I'm not sure.
Oh god,
that's the one I
show she on Fox.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
She was on that Buffy? Too. It was after that.
Angel?
She was in Bring It On.
She wasn't Bring It On. Bring It On's an awesome movie, by the way.
I haven't seen it yet.
Bring It On's great.
But yeah, she was in Buffy. She was in Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Back.
She was in a TV show. It's a TV show that had a lot of episodes on Fox.
Are you sure you're not just thinking of Dollhouse?
Yes, that was after it.
Okay.
True Lies?
No. Oh, she wasn't True Lies as a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we talking about a show or a movie?
It was a TV show.
What year?
I don't remember.
So apparently she was in Ugly
Buffy,
Betty.
Angel, King of the Hill, Punk,
Angel.
True
It
Calling,
wasn't Angel, no.
Angel. There we go.
It wasn't
70s
Angel. It wasn't
Show,
Angel.
Ugly Betty, Dollhouse, The Big Bang Theory, RuPaul's Drag Race. She was on once. Robotomy, White Collar, Cleveland Show, The Guild, The League, Leap Year, Hulk, and the Agents of Smash, Ultimate Spider-Man, Banshee. So this was before or after? Her first show was Buffy, and then she was on Angel, then King of the Hill as a guest voice, and then...
I mean, the only one I know is Dollhouse. Like, that's the one I recognize. But
I never saw Dollhouse. I saw
pretty good.
Firefly.
I don't think of someone
Firefly
else.
is amazing as well. Yeah,
I love that fact. It boggles my mind that they never got their shit together to keep that Firefly cinematic universe going. I thought the movie was really cool when they came out with that feature film. I was really into it.
Serenity. Yeah, I did
Serenity
prefer the show to the movie, but yeah, I did like the movie a lot.
It had a lot of potential to keep telling stories in that universe. And
absolutely.
Nowadays, you know what would happen. Disney would have bought it, or somebody, or Warner Brothers, and they would just keep cooking, make an animated series, make a game. But I guess Joss Whedon just wanted to let it die.
It didn't. I feel like it didn't get the ratings that Fox wanted, so it just
Fox is annoying to me. So many what they did with the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise when they said, "Oh, this is a good franchise. Let's just take these two and just mush them together, and we'll just slop together some films, and we'll just get the video game rights to anybody who wants them." And they just take a amazing franchise. They're saving it a little bit with Prometheus and that arc, but
the first AVP, it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I kind of enjoy it. But
you know what?
it's trash. But
I'm thinking about Jessica Alba. That's what I'm thinking of.
You're enjoying it despite.
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica Alba. What was the name of that show that she premiered? Oh my God, what a show! Oh my God, my heart! My heart! I can't handle it. I can't handle Jessica Alba. I might just get her shampoo for kids just because of her film career, her show.
Next show, our next TV show, our movie is gonna be a Honey. Yeah. That's
Can we get her on the? Can we get her to do a film review on this podcast?
That'd be sick. Can we get Jessica Alba on here? Is she like irrelevant enough to be?
Wow.
Now we won't. We were, but now we won't.
Fuck that up. Yeah.
Maybe episode 300. You know, we have to keep cooking. I think if we keep cooking, we'll get there. You know, so Rome wasn't built in a day.
Thanks everyone for listening to This Boy's Life review. What are we watching next week? Time
next episode. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
we're watching.
Is your pick.
This is my pick. We're alternating. This is my pick. We're watching one of my favorite movies of all time, Tron Legacy.
Banger soundtrack.
Probably one of the best soundtracks ever. I saw it in theaters. I experienced the nighttime extravaganza that was Tron Legacy at Disneyland California Adventure.
Back when everything was all good.
Oh yeah, there was the whole. I was all.
You're just a big fan of light emitting diodes.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
It is a very pretty film. I remember.
I saw Tron Legacy before I saw original Tron. So
this isn't streaming, Craig. Not streaming until next week.
I have to pay the small $5 to see it.
Oh no, wait! It's on Disney Plus. I thought you meant it's the podcast streaming.
No. It's Listen, I can pay the small $4.50, or I can watch it for free. I don't care.
I'm still waiting for them to release it on a 4K, but they haven't.
Why? There's no 4K edition. That boggles my mind.
Yeah,
it's like
that's something perfect for that.
Like, visually, it's a masterpiece. I remember.
I'm terrified of the sequel that they're supposed to.
I'm going to watch it on the big screen.
It looks
I'm going to watch it on the big screen. I'm going to watch
Jared Leto.
The director they got made the worst Pirates of the Caribbean film.
I watched This Boy's Life on the iPad. I watched This Boy's Life in bed.
Yeah, I did too.
I had seen it many times.
On the big screen, boys.
I had seen it many times. I've seen it. I saw it when it came out in the theaters. I saw it in the theaters. I saw it on VHS. I've seen it, but I wanted to see it again. and it would just fits into the schedule. But for something like Tron, Legacy, which I have seen as well, and I'm going to definitely put that on the big boy.
Tron is going to be on the big screen. I'm going to have my Sonos speaker hooked up to it.
I've got my Bose speaker.
Yeah, and then I have the backlight emitting lights on my thing that are synced up to my TV. So
hell yeah,
it is going to be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait.
How long's it been since you watched Tron Legacy, Prag?
When it came out, I saw it when it came out.
When it came out, how long ago was that? Like,
I don't know. What year did it come out?
12 years ago. It was 2012. Wasn't it?
All right.
Am I right?
My thing is, I try not to watch the same movie more unless I'm studying a film.
2010.
Because there's so many new other movies that I feel like I'm missing. I want to see the next thing too.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
I liked it when it came out. It's just it's not as much of a cultural resonator. I can talk about the original Tron, which was crazy when it came out in 1984. Yeah. Because you have to consider this was a time when the Atari 2600 was the most powerful console. You had to go to the arcade to play games. It cost $5 to get, 20 quarters. And they used to eat your quarters unmercifully. And that's what everyone did. On the weekend, you went to the arcade, and it was chill. It was cool. And there was a lot of great games. And they had the stand-up Tron game that came out with the original Tron. And they had Light Cycles, which was great. And they had the disc combat. That was big. People loved that game, and it was a really cool movie. Nothing had been made like that before. The whole concept of the micro fantasy, it's kind of like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids,
in the computer
concept
world sort of thing,
right? But you're shrinking down people to the quantum space level, which they explored a little bit in the Marvel universe, with the Wasp and Ant-Man. And it's the first time that they started
terribly, I might say.
Yeah,
they did a terrible job.
Well, I mean, it's so hard because when you're dealing with quantum mechanics, what you make that world is totally up to the creatives, right? They can mess it up really bad, or they can make something really interesting and different,
like they did in Ant-Man,
and like Tron. Yeah, but I'm not worried about Ant-Man. I'm worried about Tron right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't help Ant-Man. But I like what Tron did with the neon, and it was just, they made a choice. They made a very certain aesthetic. It was very novel. It wasn't like they're trying to go off other science fiction tropes and fantasy tropes. It was very original, and I still don't understand the story. I still don't understand the plot. All right, there's a lot of RAM. There's a lot of corruption, and there's a lot of viruses. There's a lot of they have to get some new parts at CompUSA.
Oh my God, CompUSA, Jesus.
There's the guy with the dust can that opens up the computer at the end. He's like, spray it, and everyone dies at the end. It's no spoilers, but they get hit with a dust thing, and that blows up the whole Tron city.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tron Legacy in about 5 years. I remember liking it, but feeling like there's a big lull in the middle. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it this time, and whether that will go away.
I see that,
but
I just don't remember. I'm excited. I'm glad I don't remember. It's like seeing it for the first time with fresh eyes.
I remember there's a really weird CGI Jeff Bridges in it. That looks very weird.
Lawnmower Man. Yeah. Remember Lawnmower Man?
That is my favorite line from a movie, like ever. I love it so much.
Have you ever seen the movie Lawnmower Man?
I haven't seen it though.
Oh, you got to see that.
King
It's a Stephen King short story that they turned into a novel, and it's about a low IQ individual who mows lawns at the church, and then they do some sort of cyber necromancy on the young lad, and all of a sudden he becomes super omnipotent artificial intelligence. But it's like made in like the 80s, so it's really weird. It's funny.
The one big thing that I'm really happy about with Tron Legacy is it launched Joseph Kosinski's career, the director. He went on to make, I think, the supremely underrated Oblivion, and then Top Gun Maverick.
That one.
Top Gun Maverick is incredible. I couldn't believe how good that film was.
I haven't seen any Top Guns. Well, there's only two. I haven't seen
There's only two. The first one's okay. It's not gay enough. But the second one is...
It's not gay
it's not gay enough. But the second one is unbelievable.
Listen, I love the dogfights. The dogfights in the first Top Gun are so killer.
Dude, wait till you see the second one. The dogfights in the second one is kind of unbelievable.
I don't know why I haven't seen it. I always, it's like something that I know that it's there, so I can always go to it. And sometimes I put that on the back burner.
Get it on the watch it on the biggest screen you can.
The second one has Miles Teller in it. I like Miles Teller.
It has Miles Teller.
Listen, maybe we'll make it a double feature: Tron Legacy and Top Gun 2. You know,
I could watch Top Gun as well, but we'll make it like a small section of the next one.
When I was growing up, there was something called dollar movie theaters, and they were just like a regular theater, but they would show you double feature, and the only difference was the movies were like a month old. So you could see all these great movies for $1.
That was just a month old, right? Yeah.
And in the theater, and the popcorn prices were discounted, and everything was chill. And you go in on a Saturday and you watch movies for fucking 5 hours for 99 cents. It was crazy.
Can I ask a question?
It was beautiful, and I wish that was real today too.
Can I ask a question to you Americans? What does matinee pricing mean? Because we don't have that here. Like, what does it mean when something's matinee price?
In the old days, it used to be like half price to ticket. Because everyone would go on date night at the evening. And
what does matinee
movie tickets? Afternoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Before sunset.
But that's when you should watch a movie. That's when I watch movies.
When I was your age, JC, movies cost $4.75.
Oh my god!
Night.
How much are they now? Like $20?
For me, it's like 20, 25.
To take a small loan out, especially if you're bringing a guest.
Plus
25 for that, 25 for the lady.
Plus overpriced snacks.
Oh yeah, the snacks that they cook you. But everything, the prices are crazy right now.
But nothing beats a cinema experience. It's just one of my favorite things.
We had a giant geodesic dome in San Jose where I grew up, near the Winchester Mystery House.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of okay, so they had a whole film complex. It was amazing. They were giant geodesic structures, and they had because Lucasfilm is in San Mateo and right in the Bay. So Lucasfilm put all their best sound and tested all their best film in gigantic screen. In like the 80s, we had like some of the best film experience possible in theaters there.
Amazing.
Century 21, Century 22, Century 23. There's some web pages probably about it.
Did you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Prague, the Tarantino film? His most recent. Did that?
I always watch. Tarantino's a day one kind of guy. There's some movies, music, books, authors that you're just waiting constantly for them to drop their
next
thing.
one. Yeah. Did you like? There's that scene where all of the movie theaters, like all their lights turn on. It's like a montage that he does in that film, where like the cinema, like
I have to watch it again.
They turn their lights on. Just wondering if that made you feel nostalgic. Or what?
That whole movie made me feel nostalgic.
That was a great movie.
One of the things that he did was really true to the time period. Well, I mean, I'm not from that time period, but that time period. Hold on, but that analog time period.
That time period, weren't you?
Listen to me. That analog time period lasted from post-war to the digital age in '99. So everything, the day-to-day life in the '70s was very similar to the day-to-day life in the '90s. And the fact that a lot of the ladies were just cruising around barefoot in LA, that's very, very reminds me very much of how it was growing up in where I grew up. It's like there was just the way they dressed and like there's a lot of barefoot.
That movie made me realize that Brad Pitt had been playing the same character for like the last 5-6
incredibly
movies.
every time.
I like that character. I want him to continue.
That's one of my favorite actors.
Like, their relationship is so great.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part from that movie is when they have that little mini scene where Brad Pitt's done with his stunt work job for the day, and he puts Leo DiCaprio away for bed, and then they show him driving home, and it's like a 15-minute this is kind of like how he ends his day, and he goes to his little trailer, and he cracks his beer and puts on whatever he puts on, and that's perfect character development. That's what most film directors miss, is they don't spend the time with each character to do a 3 or 4 minute little piece about what their day to day is about.
Life is, and like
I think that more films should do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that explains the character better than the script. The actions the character makes is what the audience
makes. Show don't
that's
tell.
That's what resonates.
Yeah.
Actions.
They often say show don't tell. Like show the character, don't tell the character is really
like,
and
yeah, or just like I'm gonna do this. Well, just do it. Don't tell me about it. If you're gonna do it, then do it.
And I think story comes from character, like how characters change, how characters interact, how characters like. I feel like that's where the meat of
no matter
story
how great
is.
the movie is, no matter how great the plot, the script, the set, the CGI, everything. If you don't have good actors and you don't have something for them to say that somebody hasn't heard before, that's interesting, then people are going to walk out shaking their head. No, it just isn't going to resonate.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining. This has been an amazing second episode.
Is this better? Did I allow Peepaw?
You nailed it, Brad. You did a great job.
Did I spoil it?
It was good.
Are you going to yell at me? Am I going to get yelled at?
You didn't spoil the movie.
It's amazing.
Are we going to get?
It's
you think we can get more? You think we can get more?
Round of applause.
Good job, everybody. We did it. We did it, guys.
Now Lance can watch the whole thing. Well,
this is my Robert De Niro impression.
Until he watches
my Robert De Niro.
What about Prag? What about me?
What about me? He's more of a baby than any of the kids in that movie.
What about the win? Yeah, at the end when they beat his ass finally, he's like, what do you mean you're leaving? He doesn't even chase out of them. He's just in his broken world.
A little broken baby. Yeah.
One final note. I thought it was kind of fucked up that they left Eliza Dushku back there with the wife.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
She's like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's like Ruth Bader Ginsburg in that whole thing. She's just like walking around cooking people the whole show. Nobody lays a finger on her. Nobody yells at her. She's got the braids are perfect. The glasses are on fleek.
That patch missing in her hair at the very beginning.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I was like,
that
what's
was
going on with that?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this boy's life too.
Was she into Jack? Was she into DiCaprio? Did you feel like she was into him? Or...
No. There's too
what
big
was
of
that
an
weird
age
look
gap.
that they gave? She gave him.
That's how she cooks. That's how Eliza cooks. I'm waiting for the sequel. This Boy's Life 2, featuring Eliza.
This girl's life.
This girl's life.
We got it. We nailed
it. Writes itself.
Call her.
Yeah.
Call her right now.
I should call her.
Do you think we can get more?
God damn it.
How many people watch? Listen, time out. How many people listen to the premiere of Three Grandmas?
Oh, yeah, can you tell?
We've got 24 views on YouTube. So
what about Apple? What about Spotify? And
I don't know
Apple?
how to look at the. I don't know how to look up the.
24 is pretty good.
Yeah,
that's more than I thought.
We're not talking about. We're not talking about.
It's more than I thought. Yes, we are. Why not? Why can't I talk about my hopes and dreams with my public?
I need to set this out, so it's no big deal.
I don't just fill. Listen, you know what? Lance was right. Run the thing unedited. Let it be. He's right. He's exactly right. I didn't want to say that.
Is that what he said?
Well, he said stream it unedited. Is what he said. Yeah.
And then we can put edits on to embellish at the. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been great, guys. I thank you for joining me for the second episode of Three Grandmas Yapping About Movies. I'm going to be
streaming. I got to stream. I got a show. I got a Dragon's Dogma.
You got a Dogma show. You're cooking that.
Does anybody have any final thoughts?
No. Great movie. Good choice, Prag.
I had fun watching it. I enjoyed seeing it. I hadn't seen it in a long time. It made me laugh. I always laugh at inappropriate characters like Dwight and his Boy Scout suit. In every scene he was in, it was like, okay, the scene starts, and then I see Dwight and I see Leo. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going to happen this time? Yeah. Like when he's in the bathroom. This is the great scene. When he's in the bathroom, and then he's like, you left the cap off the toothpaste tube. And Robert De Niro's like looking for the wife. He's like looking around the corner, and then he starts like pinching Leo. It's not funny, but he's such a little coward,
a
little baby,
snivelly coward. Yeah,
but he's like
making sure no one's watching while he's picking on the camera. Yeah, what a baby.
There's like 6 or 7 scenes.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you. Remember,
Pragpro, where can they find you?
You can find me on all socials at PRAGPRO.
Time Goes to Waste. Where can they find you?
Twitter.
You can find me just on Twitch. Time Goes to Waste. I stream every once in a while. Remember, when you clean out your mustard container, make sure there's no mustard in there.
Yeah. Is it clean?
Yeah.
And then you put the mustard in his eye.
In your fucking eye.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude?
And JC,
come on.
We're gonna find
Come on, big shot. Come on, big shot. Is it clean?
Is it clean? Big shot? Yet?
I don't stream, but I'll probably stream the next episode at CallMeMrJC on Twitch.
We're trying to get a fundraiser together for JC's internet. We're trying to get Frontier Fiber for JC.
Yeah.
And we need this show to be a success so he can start the Three Grandmas Yapping About Movies Twitch channel, which we have. And my boys can be streaming constantly on it and using it for their own get-up.
It seems to be okay at the moment. It was able to handle this, so it seems to be okay. So we'll give it a go next. Start
streaming again, JC.
Yeah.
On our channel. On our channel, both of you guys.
Edit the podcast on the thing, on the stream.
And then when there is a show, then people will know to come to our channel to watch it because they would had a nice time watching us play video games or just chat. And
are you saying we should all be one channel? We should all be one channel. I don't think so. I should be. I want to.
No. This is the Three Grandmas channel allows all three of us to do projects that have to do with all three of us in that spot. Well, I still have my channel, you still have your channel, but we have that other channel that you know what I'm saying.
I haven't created.
And we need a Discord
Twitch channel.
We need a Discord too.
Well, we'll get more viewers and then we'll set up a Discord.
Yeah, baby steps.
Anyway, thanks everyone. I'm gonna hit end now.